Hello viewers, this is a little bit of a preamble to the video you're about to watch. It did go on a bit long, not what I really intended, so I will kind of quickly go over the fact that if you are looking for some gameplay footage of upcoming features, unfortunately that is not in this video. If you are looking at getting into the verse and you want to get yourself a game package, I do talk about the fact that there are some game packages currently on sale, as well as until the 10th you do have the opportunity to use a referral code and get the referral bonus Argo MPUV ship added free to your account, and that is a permanent lifetime insurance ship. I had other ideas of things I want to do. I wanted to talk about some stuff in the upcoming year and some features I was looking forwards to. I don't really get into that in this video because it went on so long. Mostly me just going over our letter from the chairman, the latest communique from Chris Roberts. So that is the main part of this video. So if you really have no desire to listen to that, feel free to give this video a bit of a skip, and the next one will be something more to your liking. But if you really want to go over this video and you want to see my opinions and kind of share your own, feel free to watch this. It's about half an hour of me just kind of going over our recent letter from the chairman. So with that, on to the video. Thank you for watching. Good morning, citizens! Welcome to 2023. Yes, nailed it. Didn't get the wrong year. This was definitely not my third take trying to get that correctly. No siree. It is now still the Luminalia celebration. So I am back, and it is the start of the new year. Just a quick reminder that the Luminalia celebration, which if I click here, right here, is still going on. At least some of the stuff in a small way for the next week or so. So by the 10th, this stuff is ending. There is still, if you go to the Pledge Store, some game packages that are the holiday starter packs. So the Cutter, which is a cool deal, or the Aurora. However, the Cutter is also on sale, and the CA8R Pisces. But the Cutter itself is on sale for a standalone, still for $40 with lifetime insurance. What a great deal. So if you're looking to get into the verse and you want to get a cool starter ship, that is a cool starter ship. But getting the game package, not as good of a deal because you're looking at a 10-year insurance, which is still pretty awesome, plus, oh, not 10-year, 2-year insurance, plus the game package. But I would actually get something like the Aurora and get the Cutter as a standalone. Also, until the 10th, if you are getting a starter pack, any of the starter packs in the game, becoming a backer, spending at least $40, so this Aurora here is $40.50, you do get a cargo version, the Argo MPUV C, for free into your hangar. So when you look at your hangar and check it out, there would be that ship there that you can upgrade to another ship, and that lifetime insurance on it would transfer over. So you'd be able to upgrade to something like a Pisces or a 100i, pretty much any ship. You could upgrade that. So what a great deal. So if you have not become a backer, you have not got the game yet, and you are still looking to do that, you have about a week left until the 10th to do that. All you need to do is when you make your account, so when you're going to here and you click on Enlist Now, make sure you enter a referral code. There is one up on this corner here. But if you have a friend and they have not had someone use the referral code yet, absolutely use their referral code and help them out at the same time. Or click the link in the description below, and you're guaranteed to have it entered correctly, that on the 10th, that Argo MPUV-C will be entered into your account as a free referral bonus. So that is something that's going on right now, but only if you use the referral code, which would be right here when you make your account. So something you need to do. So that is it. The Luminalia stuff is still going on, and the referral bonus is still in effect until December 10th. But it is a new year, and it started off not with a new patch or new game content really, but with a letter from Chris Roberts, a new letter from the chairman. So we're going to take a look at that and see what it says. It is now January 3rd. I have not read the letter yet. I was waiting until I came back and was making content before I thought I would read that letter. Too bad it's not a video, Be good to actually hear from Chris Roberts since we hear from him so infrequently, especially since last year was such a banner year. I think we passed $500 million in funding of the game, so hopefully that is kind of acknowledged finally with Chris Roberts. So we're going to go to the RSI website, Comlink. We're going to go check out the letter from the chairman. 14 minutes ago, subscriber promotions. Look at that real quick first. Subscriber promotions, if you would like to become a subscriber, we're also tweaking how subscriber exclusive promotion runs. Okay, so let's read this. I haven't read this yet. Obviously, it's been 14 minutes. Welcome to 2953. That is the new year, 2953. This year will be Star Citizen's biggest to date, and subscribers can kick it off in speed and style. Why are we getting some of these ships for rentals? The Grey Cat's latest racer, the STV, is available to drive throughout January. So if you're a subscriber for January, you will get the STV in your account. And then I believe after this month is over, you have the chance, if you're still a subscriber, to buy that ship at a discount. So you can enjoy them with some brand new paints. Also tracking how the subscriber exclusive programs runs. Now the vehicle of the month and subscriber exclusive pledge promotion will run together, meaning you don't have to wait till the end of the month to add it to your fleet. Oh, there you go. So you could get the STV at a cheaper price now. While we catch up, a month subscribers can pick up both the Anvil Centurion and Grey Cat STV with enhanced insurance until the end of January. So there you go. So if you're a subscriber, you can get that for a better amount. I don't know what that is. In-game rewards. So if you are a subscriber on the cheapest, the 10-month insurance, or 10-month, I should say, monthly fee, it looks like you're getting a blue paint pack that can be applied to the Nox, the Dragonfly, the STV, and the Hover Quad. And then they have for the $20 month, you'd be getting both the blue and this red version here, and then there is this purple version that you can buy in the subscriber store. So all that is available if you're a subscriber. I am not, so therefore I am not able to check on the prices for what these are to get these things. Lost items. With the launch of Alpha 3.15, we introduced the physical inventory. Let's see if they've changed anything. Nope, they haven't changed anything. If you want to get back anything that is in your hangar, subscriber items, things that you got, see the armor that you may have got for doing stuff like Xenothreat, or some of the equipment that you got for CitizenCon or for Luminalia. If you lose it, you're going to have to do a character reset in order to get your stuff back. That has still not changed how they're going to be operating that. So that is pretty much it. You can get a lot of the stuff in-game, so some things have been added in the game that you can find that were subscriber exclusive before, some of the armors and weapons. And vehicle month, again, the STV, the Jeep buggy there. So cool. And then we have the Anvil Centurion, which is one of the ballista body types, but with the anti-aircraft guns. I believe that's what those are. So cool. That's it. We are now going to go check out the Chris Roberts letter. Now, if you haven't figured out already, besides the fact that I'm just kind of rambling as I quickly talk about all the stuff that I'm looking at, not going to be a lot of gameplay for the next couple days. I'm just getting back into checking out the verse. Also, still unable to check out the patch as of yet, so I'll talk a little bit about that. So if you're looking for gameplay, unfortunately, maybe just skip this video and head on to my next one. But this one, we're just going to be talking about some of the news starting in this year, as well as some upcoming things that I would like to see in this upcoming year. So we're going to go back to Comlink. We're going to check out the letter from the chairman. What does he have to say? Based on this side scroll here, there's a lot to look at. So let's look at this real quick. Hello, everyone. As we close out 2022 and head into 2023, I want to take the time to thank everyone for being such an amazing, enthusiastic, and supportive community. Usually, the not-so-secret sauce of Cloud Imperium's ability to have the time and resources to build a universe in the detail, scale, and scope of Star Citizen is the community's full-throated embrace of the ultimate goal of a fully connected and simulated science fiction universe that allows the players to engage in first-person gameplay and adventures almost without boundaries. Almost without boundaries. I think there's going to be a lot of boundaries, but that's all right. There is no other way Star Citizen could be built except for the community-driven funding model. The investment both in time and money is just too expensive for a normal game publisher, especially a public one beholden to quarterly earnings reports to shareholders. So this is kind of, I don't know, talking about, so we don't have to really tell you too much about what we're doing because you're going to just support us to do whatever we want as an excuse, and that we're giving them the time and resources. Well, the time is taking a long time. Definitely the tone of this is going to be one that I'm going to be kind of taking with a grain of salt. As much as I love Star Citizen, as much as I love the development of this game, uh, the development does drag on, and the communication based on what it used to be to now, where we used to hear from Chris Roberts quite often to the point where now we're happy to hear from him twice, 3 times a year. Yeah. A great example of our ability to make a long-term view and invest in research and development that most projects did not have the time or ambition for is persistent entity streaming, which creates true lasting persistence and starts. Yeah, so we're talking about persistent, about how you can leave things and come back to them later. All the stuff laying on the ground, come back, it's going to be laying on the ground. As long as you're on the same shard that you were on before, I assume. I assume there's going to be more than one. Like, if you leave something here, someone in Australia playing on one of those servers might not be finding it. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I do see a lot of issues with this, besides, just a garbage dump of a planet all the time. Look at all the medical gowns already just littered all over the place, and how is that going to be fixed? Also, I'm expecting pretty soon, horrible, genitalia and swastikas drawn out of boxes on the grounds of planets. That's my guess. People are going to do that. I'm not really sure if leaving things for all time is going to be the best way to do this. A little cough there. Although, I do like the idea of if we could make a communal garbage dump where people just throw their trash and every once in a while something nice in there. To have a place where, the players that don't have a lot of money but have a lot of time can sort through the piles of garbage to find maybe that one good item that they can sell for a little bit of money. Something like that. Let's fill Lorville up. Let's find a canyon and just fill it up with garbage. That would be great. To do this for a universe as big and detailed as Star Citizen, to have this apply to everything, not just player-owned items for an MMO with millions of players, is a major technological accomplishment. I agree, and I don't see anyone else really doing this in a large scale like he's talking here. So this is a headline feature of Alpha 3.18. Well, they're starting it in 3.18. It's still got a long ways to go. And while we didn't manage to release to live before the end of 2022, that is correct. It is currently of Wave 1 of PTU, where we harden patches, communities help before we deem the patch stable enough. There are already lots of community videos and posts about the emergent gameplay that is enabled by persistent entity streaming, especially with combined to some of the other 3.18 features, such as salvage and soft death. Yeah, cool. So that would be good. I do want to kind of experience that besides the salvage. I'm super excited about checking out my new Vulture, so that is something I'm looking for. Persistent entity streaming is an example of how all your support has enabled Star Citizen to expand its boundaries and possibilities. Agreed, 100%. But the community's contribution goes much further than funding Star Citizen's development. Contributing ideas, giving feedback, and testing the various updates release all part of the relationship. So, yeah, so some of the recent racetracks debuted are a result of community finding interesting areas to race around. That's because racing was taken out, and we would like to have it put back in. So yeah, I agree. Although, is the racing back in Agrim Hex? I'm not sure about that. So that is something I'm gonna have to check out when 3.18 is out. Whether or not the racing, because I mean, there's a whole section, a whole staging area based around racing at Grim Hex. So that'd be kind of a cool one. There is one example. Too many others to list in detail. Okay, so you named one. Oh no, started to add time trial functionality to ship's HUDs. That's kind of cool. Still, you only named one. You could have named a couple more. And what is more exciting is this community grows larger every year. That is true. I've seen more and more people. Every time I play, I see someone saying, I've just started. I just started. What am I doing? That means new people are joining the game. And everyone is usually really helpful of getting them started. The support from community helping other people get started is always there, which I think is awesome. Let's see. In my letter to the chairman in May of this year, that's the last time we really heard, except for the interview with the CitizenCon, I mentioned just how strongly we started out 2022 in terms of new players joining the verse. This trend has continued through the rest of the year, fueled by Invictus and then the release of 3.17.2, which really should have been numbered a full patch. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if you were just trying to say why we had a patch of only 3.17 for the whole year, if you're saying we should have had a second one, I agree we should have a second one. I don't think it was this one at all. Biggest headline of 3.17.2 was increase in server capacity from 50 to over 100. Yeah, I do enjoy that. I do enjoy the more people that are out in the verse at one point in one server. I am finding that kind of interesting, and it has allowed, as we're talking here, 100-person battles of bigger fleets, giant ship shows and parties. I believe they got over 115 people on 1.890. I believe that's what happened. And November released 3.17.4 just in time for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, which debuted two new flyable ships, the Cutter and the Corsair. Both pretty cool ships, although the Corsair definitely needs a fix on its flight characteristics. It does nose down all the time. I don't have one. I do have a Cutter, though. As well as the Galaxy, a large modular multi-role ship. That is hard for me to say. That's been added to the production pipeline. Well, sure, along with all the other ones. And a playable, nifty off-road vehicle, the STV, which, as I said, if you are a subscriber, you have access to right now. We also added servers in Hong Kong. That's awesome. More servers for people playing over on that side of the world, that they can get better access and quicker access to the exploding player base in Asia Pacific. Combined with the return of Jumptown and other dynamic events like Xenothreat and Ninetales Lockdown, kept it more engaged and active in any year previously. I also loved the Orson Ninetales event. Really awesome event. Another record-breaking year of growth. While our most passionate players test 3.18 and PTU and other develop... Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of an issue with this. While our most passionate players test 3.18 in PTU, it's not necessarily your most passionate. There are so many people like me who are passionate about this game, but not willing to become subscribers for a monthly subscriber, not really seeing the value in that, being locked out of the PTU because it's in Wave 1. You're saying you have the Evocati, absolutely passionate players who are willing to play this game in its roughest, worst state to try to help find bugs, break the game to make it better. But you have other people that are either concierge because they've spent a lot of money, or subscribers. I wouldn't necessarily say they're more passionate than people that are playing this game for the first time, really getting into it, or just flying around with the most basic ship. Anyone who enjoys this game, I believe, is a passionate person playing this game. And to our developers, take a well-deserved break. Yes, when are they coming back? I'm not sure. Maybe it's on the 10th. And that's why all the events kind of end on the 10th. Want to share with you some truly momentous stats from the year. So let's see. Over 1 million unique players logged into Star Citizen and played our game, and they did so for more than 46 million hours. That is awesome. Daily active users this year. So the unique players logging in each day has grown 50% over last year. That is awesome too, and is double what it was at the end of 2019. Also, over 240,000 monthly active users, which is 30% higher than average. That's awesome. And over 400,000 during May with Invictus. That's pretty impressive. I'm actually kind of surprised that it was Invictus and not the Expo that had the more players, but that is pretty cool. Ooh, here's a nice Razor flying through a Rivertech here. So that's the one on Microtech. There is the new one on Hurston that I believe has the big kind of cliff walls on it. I really am excited about checking that out. Funding Tracker knows that we clipped last year's revenue by mid-November and had our first 100 million plus year ever. That is a ton of money. And again, why don't we hear more about that on Spectrum, or more of that from Chris Roberts saying, look, we hit this much per year, or we hit this much, like $500 million. Let's kind of like give a thanks to everyone who's supporting the game. Why does it take to this where it's just kind of, 3 pages down? Could also read more in depth on our financials. So you can look at their financials if you want there. That is always out on the Cloud Imperium Games, not the RSI website. So we're also noticed that 2021 it was, which is remarkable growing. What's this say? Sorry, I've read this wrong. But as great as 2021 was, which was remarkable for growing beyond COVID, we managed to grow 30% beyond 2021. That's pretty awesome. Where does it go? Right back into development. We are hiring more than ever. So we're working on Squadron 42. Come on, let's get a little more news about that, a little more screenplay. I know you don't want to show too much about it, but you got to show something. And persistent universe teams. No secret there are 2 games, and our technology are among the most complex and complicated endeavors. Well, I know that, this one is. This one we don't really hear much about. We are doing things with engine that are truly groundbreaking. Takes talent and time. So again, kind of letting us know, yeah, it's taking us a long time. At least they're aware of that. Huge portion of our growing interview has come exclusively from new players who have only joined this year. In fact, we witnessed an explosive growth of over 800,000 new accounts. Oh, if I could only have, 1% of that number use this code. That would be awesome. New accounts were created this year following Play Our Project. Our new players this year have almost doubled compared to last year. That's pretty cool. And those new players, 70% of them stayed around. So during the free fly, they signed up, and then 70% stayed around who purchased starter packs. That is cool. That means this game is kind of surprising new people and getting them interested in the verse. I do think if you haven't played this game, trying it out on a free fly is 100% the way to go because you get to really see parts of the game, play the game, see how it runs on your system because that's the biggest thing. What's stopping people from playing this game right now isn't that they don't like the game, it's that they don't like how it runs on their system. Things like Vulkan coming out hopefully will fix that when they do more kind of separating the persistent objects from the universe. That's going to be better too. Bar Citizen World Tour, I'm going to kind of skip over this, but there was a lot of Bar Citizens. If anyone has a chance to go to one of these events, absolutely go check it out. If anyone wants to go and get one of those codes for a Banner Cube and send it my way, feel absolutely free because I would love one of those, but I am not going to be flying all over the world. I mean, the closest one to me, if I got in a car and drove, there was one in Toronto that would take me about 18 hours to get to one way. So that's if I don't stop driving. Usually takes me 2 days to drive to Toronto. Not going to be going there. Definitely not going to Montreal. Definitely not going to Prague or wherever the last one they're talking about here is. And in case you missed it, Sandy Roberts recently announced in-person CitizenCon will be returning Los Angeles. Well, that's way far away from me. That's the other one. Here's some cool pictures. Some of the events going on. New places to call home. We got the Galaxy here. They're talking about their new office is what they're talking about. They're going to have events and tours in the offices eventually. So I'm not going to be doing that because I'm definitely not going across the sea to Frankfurt or Manchester. But look forward to other channels that are going to be able to go there, maybe do a tour and put it on their videos, as well as the RSI Star Citizen YouTube channel will be having tours of the different areas there. Star Citizen Alpha 3.18. Last week we opened the gates and welcome Wave 1 testers, if you were willing to pay to be a subscriber, to check out the latest content technologies. This is something I'm excited for. I was really hoping they'd somehow get this out before they went away for Christmas. This upcoming patch release marks a giant technical step to deliver uncompromising and near limitless universe that we've all been dreaming of. Far from our typical quarterly patch, this release introduces fundamental changes to entire backend, bringing all new set of backend services, granting universal persistence, and even mass migration of the entire game state to the cloud, which is a tremendous undertaking and accomplishment for our team. I agree. Look at this beautiful picture of this Corsair out on the snow here. So we talked about Drake's Corsair here. Since hitting Wave 1, there's tens of thousands of people have been checking it out. Giving cargo a physical representation, talking about the Drake Vulture. I am so excited. I have my Drake Vulture that I won from the pumpkin carving contest. It's got the green paint on it. I cannot wait to get that out there and give it a go. So it's a new entry-level flyable salvage ship. I do not have access to a reclaimer, so I don't know if I'll be able to try that out, but definitely maybe I'll go find someone else with a reclaimer and just work in the bowels of their ship, helping them out. That would be kind of cool. Salvage, new racetracks, new point of interest. I talked about the river, but there's also a lot of wrecks and other sites like that I'm going to be checking out. Cool, cool, cool. And then we're moving towards making it stable enough for release to live. So hopefully soon it's going to go to the next wave of testing, and I can test it out with the public testing servers. Here we got a beautiful Vulture here. Pulling parts off a ship. I don't believe that is part of Tier 1 salvage. I will know when I try that out. And then we're looking into the road to Alpha 4.0. Coming this year. Maybe, possibly, coming this year. This coming year. I read that wrong. This coming year is going to be a huge one for Star Citizen. Possibly. There we go. Possibly. Its biggest one to date. First order of business is continue to stabilize 3.18. Continue harden PAES. Separate the replication layer. That is the objects layer versus the game layer. Very important for server meshing. Once this happens, we'll be able to have multiple game servers communicate in real life, much like multiple game clients communicate in real life, allowing Star Citizen to have multiple servers simulating the universe, and a state we call service meshing. Well, the server meshing would give us more than 100 people on a server at one time, possibly thousands. So we'll start with static server meshing. Different servers assigned to simulate different energy zones. So one inside your ship, one inside Lorville, one outside the planet, one in space, one in this spaceship. That's what they're talking about here. These will be bound to fixed zones, but quickly move to dynamic server meshing, which is going to make it so that your character is kind of being put into a server depending on what they're doing. Servers being created and gotten rid of depending on when they're needed. That's going to be pretty cool. At this point, we should be able to handle tens of thousands of players all playing in the same universe shard. That will be cool. You're going to have to figure out a way to fix those ASOP terminals so we don't have people queued up lining up. Also, having your own persistent hangars will make that a lot better, because as long as your hangar doors are closed, we could dynamically be in our own hangar and we open the doors to leave when there is the ability to leave or land. Because with thousands of people, you're definitely going to want to have more hangars that you can get in and out of. So once we retrieve static server meshing, we can open up universe to citizens to other Star Citizens, including Pyro! And Nix, I guess, because we do miss Levski. I cannot wait to get back to Levski. By having the authority to pass from one server to another, you'll be able to transition seamlessly without the need to log out of the game between systems. Cool, cool, cool. That will be kind of interesting. You could use the jump gates as kind of a loading way, because it's going to be kind of hard to justify a load screen. But if you are having a longer jump, I would like jumps to take a bit. I don't want you to be able to jump from Stanton to Pyro in like 2 minutes. I would like it to take a bit of time, a bit of thought to get from one point to another. That is my opinion. We are aiming to put static server meshing and Pyro into the hands of players in the fourth quarter of 2023. I believe last year was Q1 of this year. So the large caveat, of course, is that complicated engineering work involves good complexity. Okay, so they already know that. I mean, we already have fallen back again and again and again. So we're like, this is what we're hoping to do. Don't expect it to happen. That's what they're saying. Beyond this, there's a host of other exciting features and content we have planned. Pyro with its sort of planets, moons, settlements, space stations, and factions, and AI. But new item resource system and ships replaces the old pipe system in a much more dynamic and scalable system, allowing truly emergent behavior. So how items are moved around the ship, maybe? Bounty hunting with full tracking system and ability to actively restrain and transfer both players and AI. That is cool. How do you restrain players? And what happens if I restrain a player and then decide just to keep him in my ship and fly around, and they cannot leave, they can't go to Kleshir, they can't do the prison gameplay loop and get free and earn their freedom? There must be a timer for how long you can have someone stored and locked in your ship. Hopefully that is the case. Or if you can stun people, what's to stop someone from stunning someone so they can never get back up? That has to be worked on for sure. I always like to think of how this is going to go badly, but it could be pretty cool. Towards the end of the year, we should see some more Squadron 42 related work to arrive in Star Citizen. More flexible, well, that'll be interesting, whatever that is. Flexible player traversal, especially on ladders and ledges. I have seen some of what they've been working on there, and it does look cool. It does look way better. Jumping and grabbing ledges. It'll make jumping around caves a lot more fun, a lot more interesting. Hopefully it'll stop a lot of times where you kind of get stuck in a fall animation, unable to get yourself out of it, and just kind of floating there, needing to log out of the game and log back in. And now that the Gen 12 renderer is functioning, graphics team will work on multi-threading improvements. Cool. All this is going to be awesome. Getting Gen 12 to work even better is what's going to be better. That needs to work. So there are numerous things the Star Citizen team are working on for this coming year, but this letter is already long enough. Of course, well, because you rambled on. Just give us more examples of what's being worked on. Final thoughts. Looking back on 2022 has been gratifying to see Cloud Imperium and Star Citizen community grow. We ended the year with 861 employees. Wow. And grew to more than 4 million accounts and 1.8 million backers accounts that have been purchased Star Citizen in this year. That's pretty cool. That is awesome. And then we go, the universe is how you interact with it is up to you, from exploring to hauling, trading, mining, salvage, refueling, refining, bounty hunting, piracy, and being a hired gun, to just sightseeing and being a social butterfly. Sort of. I mean, it's not up to you how you react, because if I want to just haul and mine, I'm also part of the being hunted and pirated. So, and that is just what we have now. The future, we'll be able to farm to gather the resources. Ooh, I don't know about that. Build, craft, and sell. So I heard there is crafting in the fact that you can craft multi-tools in the Vulture now. I'm gonna have to check that out. Uh, Crafting and selling goods, gathering resources. Well, we already have kind of gathering resources, but it'll be interesting to see how that is implemented. That is definitely a long, long way off. Star Citizen is more than just a game, it's an escape to another reality where anyone can pursue their imagination, not bound to a single playstyle or profession. Again, unless your profession is, I don't want to be hunted or shot, you're not necessarily bound to that because other people can decide that you are going to. It is kind of an issue. I know there is the whole idea of PvE versus PvP, but there's people out there that specifically go after people that they know they're going to be annoyed by being attacked. As far as a miner, I don't mind people trying to pirate me, trying to attack me, but there are some people that they don't want that, and this game isn't really for them because it's not going to stop. It's not going to be something that is going to be easily mitigated by adding 10,000 players to a server where they can interact with other players and share in the same common dream. That I agree. The dream is making this verse amazing and having a place where you can explore and just see the world. And that is what I'm going to be doing coming up soon. As soon as we get 3.18 live, not the playtest, that is when I'm going to start my grand tour. If you watched my other video explaining that that is one of my big series coming out, I'm going to just start exploring all the sites. All these new things, everything that's already been in the game. I want to visit every moon, every planet, different stations, point of interest. I want to see it all, and I hope you will join me for that. So I feel incredibly lucky and privileged to have the opportunity to pursue this dream and maintain an amazingly talented team at Cloud Imperium and support and patience of the best community. Well, patience, usually, he must not read Spectrum. And from all of us at Cloud Imperium, we wish you a happy new year and cannot wait to continue the journey with you in 2023. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So this is already a half hour long. This is way longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to kind of quickly go with a quick thought of what I'm excited for this year, but I'm not going to go into it too much. When 3.18 comes into the second wave of testing so we can get into the PTU, I'll talk a bit more about that. But I'm really looking forward to, they're talking about here, the idea of persistent hangars coming out. I'm excited about that. About persistent entity streaming coming out. I am excited about the fact that I have now applied for monetization for this YouTube channel, and the more money I can make, I'm going to be able to hold giveaways and give away things back to the community. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm hopeful for more than one patch, more than just 3.18, maybe 3.19 before 4.0 at the end of the year or beginning of next year or in 2026. We don't know when that will happen. So that is it. I'm going to cut this off at about half an hour. Hopefully, this is kind of interesting. Hopefully, you've got some thoughts, and I would love to hear those thoughts on this. And you have high hopes for what's coming in this next year. So until then, until my next video, goodbye, everyone. And I hope to see you soon in the verse. Happy flying.